Hey YouTube family, it's your girl Jazzy, getting jazzy with jazz. And if y'all want to have a good time, YouTube family, just like I do, come on over. And I need y'all to go ahead and do this for me, like, comment, and subscribe. And then we're going to get the party started. Hey, good Thursday morning, YouTube family. I am doing Next Gen New York, and this is season 1, episode 5. And I'm just gonna give it a title because Charlie was a mess up in here in this episode. I'm like, why is he here? Why is he here? So it starts with Ariana, and she asks Ava, why are you coming for my brand that you don't even know about? And then Ava says that she didn't mean to come for her brand. And then Gia was saying, and Ariana, they continue. So Gia just looking like. And Ariana and Ava, they continue to fuss. And then they are interrupted with the happy birthday song to Chloe. Because keep in mind, they are at her birthday. They at her birthday, just sitting up there arguing and fussing and all this stuff at that girl's birthday. And it was like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. And you know, Ariana, after she gave her birthday wishes, you know she was out. She was out. And then Brooks and his mom, Meredith Marks. Y'all know Meredith from The Housewives. If you don't, she's from The Housewives. And she still looked the same. And then they are getting clothes together for her venue. And then Gia, her friend, talk about Meredith's event. And Brooks is the creative director now. I said, okay, Meredith. Okay, keep it all in the family, girl. Keep it all in the family, girl. And Brooks says that his mom tell him he fired pretty much when he don't get everything on the rack to her liking. And I'm like, huh, interesting. Interesting. And then she came back and said, well, you know that you're not actually fired. You're not actually fired. And then he said that it's making his anxiety through the roof because he said he got horrible anxiety. And I said, just a mess. I said, don't do that. And then Riley, and she meets with Candy and Todd. And then Ava talks about nothing. And then Riley, she visits Ariana. And she didn't met with her Candy and Todd yet. But Riley, she visits Ariana to discuss about the melee the other night. And then pretty much asking, was she wrong or was she right? And then, you know, Ariana said that, I mean, she gonna always stand 10 toes down for Riley because she said they best friends. And I said, okay, keeping it in the family because your mama, she snipped $80,000, $80,000 to $100,000 from Candy. And I'm like, come on now. Of course she don't know. And of course, her mama probably would never tell her about it. And I like how they're able to be friends, Ariana and Riley, because they don't know what's going on. And I would like for it to stay that way. I honestly would like for it to stay that way. And then Charlie and Ava go to Slutty Vegan. And Damon Dash is on the video call. And he is asking the Slutty Vegan, and he said, this is Slutty Vegan. And he said, welcome. And they trying to have some little event there. And I'm pretty sure it ain't going to get to it in this episode. And then Charlie is running down Georgia. He running down Georgia talking all kinds of cash money. And I said, don't do Georgia like that, because I actually like her. I actually have a favorite, and it's Georgia. and it's Riley, and it's Ariana. Those are my three favorite girls. So I'm not finna be standing for Charlie, little trust fund baby self talking ish about her. And I'm like, she can hold her own, and she gonna get with him. Just hold on, just sit tight. And Georgia and her boyfriend, they have a date, and that's Omar. And he says that he loves her and they will work it out, and whatever, issues or situations that she having going on currently, he said, well, they'll both work it out. I said, oh, look at that. That's just so sweet. And then Charlie is calling, interrupting. And then Meredith said, and Meredith is on the phone. And then it's like, Georgia trying to, work and do what she needs to do for Meredith, because she is going to be hosting, helping her host her event. And then Charlie started calling her, asking about a speaker. And I'm like, wait a minute now. Charlie, come on now. Ain't we 29 years old, about to turn 30, and you is definitely a trust fund baby. I know for a fact, because he makes it known, Mr. Cryptocurrency Worker, he makes it known that his dad gives him allowance every month. I'm like, okay, girl, let me tell you something. Hold the hell on. And then he just calling. And then Georgia says she will have to talk to him another time because Meredith just walked in. And then Meredith says what she is needing, for her event, and then what she's needed, to be set up in the kitchen for her caviar. I said, I like that idea. I said, swell idea, girl. Swell idea. I love it. And then everyone is there for the caviar, and Shay tells Meredith that it is good. He said he really is happy that he came because the caviar is good. And I don't know if y'all have ever had caviar or escargot before. Good. Now, we'll say it's a little fancy, a little rich people stuff. But I had the pleasure to have both a couple of times. Can't say that I will get a hold to buying or going to buy it at a restaurant every single day. But I have had that pleasure. And it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's not. And then he Shay, he trying to leave, and he was telling her it's good. He trying to leave, and he trying to make his way out. And then it's stopped by Brooke's dad asking, would he date Charlie, and is he fluent? And I'm like, what's going on? Because I'm like, let me tell you something, sir. Are you out? But I said, don't do that. Don't push that young man up. He trying to leave because he said that the caviar was good, and he told Meredith that the event was good. It was all chef's kitchen. He said it was good. And he said that, then Brooke's dad, Charlie dad is stopping him, talking about would you ever date Charlie? And are you fluent? Not Charlie dad, that's Brooke's dad. I had it right. And then Ava comes very, very late to the event. And Ariana says that a text was sent by Ava that she was not trying to ish on her brand, pretty much. And I'm like, all right, Ava. You gotta still remember now. I love Damon Dash down, especially at his older age. He done got mature. He done got more mature. I love him. But you got to remember that Ava is his daughter, and Damon Dash is her daddy. You know how Damon Dash get down. You got to know. And then she coming up in there very, very late and talking about she wasn't trying to ish on Ariana's brand. And I'm like, you sure about that, girl? Okay. And then Riley it goes to, you know, Riley, because that event was pretty much over when she came. So she came too late. Maybe it was purposely done. Who knows? But she came late. Then it conveniently switched on over to Riley's, and she meeting with Todd and Candy on upstairs, you know, on the high level of wherever they was at. You know how New York is. And it's not on the middle level. On the bottom level, it's at the very, very top. And then they having, you know, conversation. And then a cute little Blaze. She's so cute. She's so pretty. And then Ace, little sweet self. They both give her a hug. And then, you know, Candy, she gets into it because, you know, she tight like that with the money, and she tries to have generational wealth, and she don't try to spend money that she don't have to spend. We know Candy cheap. Then Candy asks Riley what is her job situation looking like, and then Ariana comes in conveniently. She saves the day. She saves the day. And she comes to sit with them. Then Candy asks, how is it going with the guy? She had a problem with Charlie. And then Riley says that it's going good. And then she says now he has a problem with her. And I'm like, really, Charlie? Ugh, really? Is that what we doing, though? Because, you know, it already was a conversation in the last episode about how he was feeling some kind of way about her and was trying to just, you know, the microaggressions that was going on in the last episode with Charlie. And he just making such a big deal out of everything. I said, okay. And then she just tell Candy that he has a problem with her now. And Riley says that they were drinking at the Box. It's a restaurant named the Box now. And it's, you know, was drinking some expensive liquor and expensive champagne. Everything was expensive. And then Candy says that it better be on her card. It better not be. You know what she said? It better not be on the card that she paying for. I told you that she tight with the money now, but she is responsible now. And then Riley said, no, it's my money. It's my money. You don't have anything to worry about. And then it... She said it's her money. She don't have nothing to worry about. She know how her mama be clutching with them. She be clutching her pearls when it be coming down to the money. Because she trying to just, you know, build businesses and generational wealth. And she was in New York because, you know, she was having that play the piano, and you know she be in New York, and then you know Todd is from New York too, and I think I want to say that he still got a house in New York, so in case Candy decides to boot him up out of her $1 million house down in Atlanta, Georgia. But Candy got that long money now. She got businesses and she got long money, so she ain't worried about her money. But Todd may have to worry about his money. And then after that, it just started from, you know, a happy, joyful moment, and then just seeing people that you used to like from the old shows, like the Housewives of Atlanta, then to go to some spoiled bull crap. Because Charlie is definitely spoiled. He is a trust fund baby. I keep on telling y'all. And then it goes to Charlie and Dylan, and they meet to have drinks. And then he says Charlie is a stubborn and confident man, but very stubborn. Now, this is what Dylan's saying. And he says that Charlie moves through the world getting what he wants. That's why I say he's spoiled. He get what he wants every single day. He acts just like a He act just like a child. C-H-I-D-L-D. C-H-I-L-D. I had a Mama D voice. B-I-C-T-H. And I'm like, did Mama D mean to say it like that? Because everybody know that bitch is B-I-T-C-H. But we're gonna get off of that. So I had one of them moments temporarily, but it's C-H-I-L-D, child. And that's what Charlie acts like. He acts just like that. And you wouldn't even know that he almost 30. And he don't do nothing but skateboard through New York, through the New York streets, and then hounding and harassing Georgia about a darn speaker. And I'm like, that speaker better be worth millions and thousands of dollars. The way that you handle her and texting her and while she trying to handle her business. It better be worth some thousands of dollars. Ugh, it's just too much. I said, he is spoiled. And when I say I can't stand him, I can't stand him. And he don't have no giving, like for real, for real. And Dylan also said that Charlie doesn't take responsibility either. And I'm like, and don't. He does not. That he does not do. I'm glad that he has a friend that will say that he don't take responsibility. And pretty much he don't take responsibility. And he's saying that he take responsibility. He got stuff that he got to pay. He got stuff to do. He don't move like Charlie move. But he can still be his friend. But he can give him advice. Is Charlie going to take it? 9 times out of 10, he not. And then Charlie is messy. His messy gonna say he wants to know what Riley does. And I'm like, look, you know exactly what she do. You know exactly what she do. And then Dylan gonna say, he is kind of like, she's kind of like an influencer or something like that. I hope he was making a joke. Because he know that she ain't no influencer. He know that she's a recently graduate from college. And he know that. And my whole thing is, I always wondered, did Trust Fund Baby ever graduate from college? Did Dylan graduate from college? Did any of them graduate from college except for Georgia? I know Georgia did, and I know Ava did. But you have to just read the room when you be looking at this show. And I just be like, they talking a whole bunch of ish. But anyway, on a happier note, Amira, Brooks, Georgia, and Ariana, Riley, and they say Ava is still in the Bronx, so she ain't there. And they all meeting for drinks and all that stuff. I said, I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then Kate and Brooks, it goes back to, you know, after that scene, they all meet for drinks and all that stuff, and they just have a good time, and they just love each other. And they said, shout out to New York. And I said, I just love how a friendship can come about with them, because I like them. They are so sweet. And then it goes to Kate and Brooks, and they are both hula hooping in his living room now. Hula hooping in his living room. And Ariana and Brooks, they say, you better move to New York in your 20s. Now, this in the confessional. And they was both sitting in there, and they were saying, you better move to New York in your 20s. And if you do not, it's too late. And that's what Brooks said. And I said, he would know. He would know. And then Ariana and Hudson, they discussed a clothing line. And then Hudson was pretty much saying, let's get this thing started. I said, okay, Hudson, look at you with your money vision. He just got a money vision. I said, I like Hudson. I like him for Ariana. I like him. I can't say nothing bad about him. And then Georgia and Omar are walking. Then Charlie's still asking for his speaker. And he texting them now. And it's like she can't even walk in peace and get to the restaurant and get to where she's trying to get to without looking down at a text message from him. And then she had to respond to him accordingly. And it's like, that's too much. He doing too much. I'm like, that speaker, I'm telling y'all, that speaker better be worth over $15,000 the way that he's sitting up there acting. And then Charlie goes to get coffee while texting Georgia again. And then Georgia say Charlie spends his days And just like I figured, listen to what Georgia said. She said he spends his days smoking and then riding his skateboard and then going out and blowing money pretty much. And she said that's the story of his life. And then Dylan getting his money promoting his clothing line, his line of clothing. Then Charlie steady asking about a speaker from Georgia. And then I'm like, And then Georgia doing and taking care of her business. And she did make mention that he gets allowance every month from his dad. I said, told y'all, trust fund, baby. Trust fund, baby. And Georgia and her friend, it goes to Georgia and her friend, and they are meeting at the Spicy Moon to hang and work. You know, how when you be at Starbucks, you can do school work and then you can get you some coffee and then you can get you a bite to eat as well. So that's kind of what the Spicy Moon gives me a mind of, but it's just a little bit more to hang and to work. And then why Charlie showed up on that skateboard, then he sits down to order food. And then she says, well, this is all vegan, Charlie. He said, okay, whatever. Have y'all ever had somebody that was like Charlie, that if you get the smallest thing from them, they keep hounding you and hounding you and hounding you and hounding you, like you ain't gonna give it back to them? But I'm like, come on now. And then now listen to this, y'all. He came up there interrupting they lunch that they trying to have, and then Charlie says that he is regretting having her in his life. And then she said that he got his speaker back. So she like, what's going on? And he trying to turn up on her, and I don't like that. And then he calls her a stupid, delusional bitch. And then he says she dirty. And then he said she would not be on the show if it wasn't for him. And then she says, everyone hates you. Everyone hates him. And she said, everyone hates you, Charlie. That he does not make as much money as he think he is being a crypto trader. I already told y'all. She said that he made $300 a day. And she said he go to the club and then get girls. And then he get drunk. And then he go home. And then it's the same thing every single day. And then going to the club and all this stuff. And then he called her poor. And she said, I pay my bills. Rightfully so, because she do. I don't be liking how, whether it's a queer guy or whether it's a straight guy, I don't like for the turn up to be on women. And I didn't like how he treated her. And he always said that if she was a man, that he would slap her. I said, well, what happened now? Wait. Are they not showing us everything? Or did he just be all turned up because she said that he be smoking? And I said, okay. And then she says, F him. And he is still riding down the street on that skateboard, child. Now, Charlie was doing too much. He definitely was. I don't care for him. And he don't care for nobody else. And he bow racist. I'm just gonna go and say that, y'all. He bow is. Or let's just say racist in, trying to see how I can say it, non-intentional, but he just say what he want to say. And that's why I said that microaggression thing, him and Riley just had a conversation about that on the last episode. And he was like, I don't like all this. I don't do all this. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you do that. Talk with your hands, talk with your hands, talk with your hands. And she just pretty much told him last episode that that's just how she talks. And she said she didn't like how he was coming at her. And I didn't either. But this show took me there. This episode, it was good though. It was good. It was more, good parts than bad parts. And I always said this. I said Charlie is struggling with I think he's struggling with his sexuality, y'all. That's what I always thought when I first watched this show. I said, he's so aggressive to women. And he just be panhandling and manhandling and just talking any kind of way to Georgia. But, Georgia gonna put him down. She gonna put him down on the ground in his place. And she's rides for hers. And I said, okay, that's why I said I like Riley. I like Ava. And not Ava. Definitely not her. I like Riley, Ariana, and then I like Georgia. My top 3 girls. And then I like Brooks too. So I get Brooks 4 people. But that was Gen NYC Season 1, Episode 5. And I hope y'all like my review and my little recap of what happened in the show. So if you would, just do me a favor. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Gonna get this uploaded real soon. And YouTube, that was the video. And what I want y'all to do is like, comment, and subscribe. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, YouTube family.